And welcome back to Granny in the Saddle. This is Zeus, and I'm not sure whether Zeus is a bay or a grey, but today the video is about clipping. Yes, in an ideal world, he would be bathed, he would be dried, and he would be clean, but this is reality, and the reality is it's winter, it's freezing cold out there. His coat is that dense. If I did bath him, if I was to wash him now, I probably wouldn't be able to get him dry enough without him getting really cold. So personally, I know that what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to sacrifice a set of blades to get him clipped. So if we've got any professional groomers, clippers, or anybody that likes having sharp blades, I would suggest for your own sanity, you turn this video off now, because this is not going to be the video for you. A couple of things just before we start. Clothing. If you're new to clipping, one thing that you must make sure that you wear appropriate clothing. So I've got some cotton trousers on over my jodhpurs, and I've put this coat on, which I'll do it up, but the hair will fall off it. And you will know people clipping jumpers, fleeces, even sweatshirts. But once the hair gets embedded into your clothing, then you've written the clothing off, because you can't get the hair out. So the clippers come with a loop, and I always just loop it on, just so if they get knocked out of my hand or anything like that, they're not going to drop on the floor. I mean, in all the years, and I've had clippers for many, many years, last year was the first time I dropped a pair of clippers on the concrete floor here. They didn't really hit the floor that much, but it was enough to damage the tooth on the clipper blade. Zeus hasn't been clipped since last year. So bearing that in mind, I'm going to switch them on, and then I'm just not going to clip him straight away. I'm going to introduce him to the clippers just so that he doesn't get a fright. Okay, so all I've done is literally, that's his skin, and I've just rubbed the vibration of the clippers onto him just so that he's prepared. And what I will do, because of the state of him, I'm going to clip him, not in the conventional way. I'm going to clip him in a way that if I have a problem, I can then stop and then tidy him up. The other thing, once he is clipped, he will have a full neck rug on. At the moment, I think he's got a 150 gram, but I will put a 200 gram on him. I'm not going to put anything thicker, and I will monitor how warm he is, because I don't want him to be hot under the rug. I want him to just feel snug, and there's a big difference. If a horse is too hot under the rug, then they can colic and all sorts. Because think about it, if he's cold, he can run round to get warm. If he's too hot, he cannot take the rug off and say, I'm too hot, I need to take a layer off. So we have to be mindful that we don't over rug. And I know it's a thing that some people like to have their horses really warm and roasty toasty, but that is not good for them. You want them to just be comfortable. You will notice I've just placed my mounting block by his back leg. And I just do that. Again, it's just a little granny's tip. I just put it there. I don't want him for anything else, but if he does go to kick me, I'm going to hear that first. So because once I start clipping, I get into the zone, and then I'm just concentrating on what I'm doing. So by just putting that there, I don't want him to get himself caught in it. But if for any reason he takes a swipe, and I'm hoping he won't because he hasn't done it before, but it's just precautionary. So if he does kick out, he's going to kick that, and then I can get out of the way. And it's just about keeping yourself safe, because I think clipping is one of the areas where you can get yourself in a bit of trouble with horses. his fur is muddy, so I've got to take into account that. But what I can do at any time, I can retidy that up, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not fussed about whether it's pretty. I'm doing it to get rid of his big thick coat for to make him comfortable. Okay, so I'm now going to do the main line, and again, what we don't want to be doing is clipping that far up that we run the risk of clipping the bottom line of his mane. So this is a really important part. So again, I'm just going to pick a line, and then I'm just going to run the clipper. And I know there's probably professionals going, oh my God, what the hell is she doing? But do you know what? I've got 6 horses, professional groomer, and I'm not trying to be a professional clipper. I'm just trying to do the best I can by my horses. But you know what I was saying earlier about having the right clothing? So if you look now, see how all the little bits of fur that are getting on me. Now, because of this coat that I've chosen to wear, I can just brush it off and it's not sticking to me. You will notice that I've actually changed the head collar, because the one that I'd got on before was a furry one. So I've replaced it just for a nylon one, because now I'm going to go up by his head. Good boy. Okay, so I'm going to just get a little bit closer. But again, I don't really want to restrict him, because if he wants to move away, then I'm quite happy for him to move away. You know, the last thing I want him to do is to start panicking because I've got him in a hold that he feels he needs to just move away from the clippers. If he needs to move away, then he needs to move away, and I'll work with that. You know, I haven't got to do 4 horses today. I might do him over 3 days. I don't think I will, but you know what I mean? The pressure's off me because I'm just doing it for my horses. I'm not doing it as a job. I haven't come on the yard to clip all 6 horses. I'm literally just going to do him, and then I'll get the bulk of it off, and then I'll start tidying him up at another stage. Now, actually, I've chosen a line there, but I'm actually going to come down to this line here. So I'm going to make an imaginary line, and then I'm going to work to that. So it comes almost from his mouth. And then when I've got the bridle on, it should go up to the bridle. I know, I know, I know. Oh, darling. Good boy. Good lad. Good boy. All right, all right, all right. If your horse starts getting a little bit worried, then just talk to them, just reassure them. You know, like there, he just got a little bit worried, and I was just like, okay, okay, good boy, good boy. You know, just let him know that you're not here. I'm not here to hurt him. I'm just here to just get rid of all this fur. So this is Zeus afterwards. I think you'll agree that he looks a lot better. But again, in the winter, you've just got to do what you've got to do. There's the ideal, and then there's the reality of what we have to do. Ideally, would I have clipped him with that much mud on him? Of course I wouldn't have done that. But the reality was, I've been putting it off, waiting for the mud to dry up on him, and it just hasn't. It's been relentless. So today we've had a dry day, and I thought I'll just crack on, and what will be will be. Granny in the saddle, riding real and true. Like, share, subscribe.